This is the Post Shift Podcast, a raw look at the hospitality industry.
What's happening, Post Shift Podcast? This week is going to be a little bit different. It looks like I'm going to have a podcast almost every single day through this platform. Main reason being, with everything that's going on with COVID-19 right now, I wanted to sort of bring light and have people on the show as much as possible, give you as much information about what's going on, whether it be at the provincial level, the federal level, individual initiatives that's going on, interviews with people like Jeff Ginyard from Able BC about legislation here in the province. Yesterday I had Jonathan Smolinski from Sovereign Canada. We talked about how's this affecting bars and restaurants that he's heard of, because he's sort of plugged in really hard in the Vancouver market and across Canada. Jeff Ginyard from Able BC hopefully this week will be on the show for legislation changes, which have been fantastic. I know how much work he's been doing in the province. I think I'm going to have Christina Vera later on this week from Toronto talking about the Restaurants Canada initiatives that they're going to be releasing. And I'm going to start picking off people here and there and really try and maximize as much information as I can possibly give to you, because that's what I hope Post Shift Podcast gives you. So that being said, I'm seeing tons of great restaurant initiatives, like GoFundMe pages and all this sort of stuff. So I wanted to break it down a little bit into branding, or branding sounds horrible, personal brand or business brand or whatever, reputation. A lot of restaurants and bars do a brand in the way of they do a logo and they do some menus and da-da-da-da. I believe that the why sometimes gets lost because it's very passionate, it doesn't get put into words specifically. I'm not saying all the restaurants, I'm saying a lot of restaurants put together a logo, put together a menu, bang, that's your brand. But really, the brand specificness needs to come down to why. And the why is really important. It's like, why do you do this? Now, why it behind your brand seems very simple, but it's actually very, very difficult, because it should encompass so much more than just why you do what you do. It should include your CSR, your corporate... damn it, what's CSR stand for? It'll come to me in a second. But it should incorporate your CSR... what the hell? I'm going to have to look it up. Give me 2 seconds. I got to look it up because it's on the tip of my tongue. CSR. This is embarrassing. Corporate social responsibility. I knew what the R was. I just didn't know what the S was. Corporate social responsibility. And why is this so important? It's due to right now. Why is corporate social responsibility so important right now? Your reputation, and a reputation of bars, restaurants, brands like liquor brands, wine brands, distilleries here in BC is very important, because everybody is stepping up to help this pandemic that we've got here in Canada. While it is still not as aggressive as it has been in Italy and China, we're flattening the curve, and the reason being is that we've got so many hospitality people who have stepped up. And when I say hospitality people, I mean the industry, like producers and stuff like that, have stepped up to really help. And the thing is, at the end of the day, is if you look at everything that's going on in the middle, all the restaurants and bars are stepping up, doing like $10 meals for people who are less fortunate, which is a massive issue. Like, when we really think about it, right now, if your city has a homeless problem, which I know Canada, a lot of cities do, they can't stack the homeless shelters as heavy as they usually do because of the social distancing rules. So what's happening is you're getting a whole lot of homeless people with substance misuse problems just hitting the streets and spreading out everywhere, because they don't have space in the homeless shelters, because the homeless shelters' capacities have dwindled aggressively because of this social distancing. So you've got bars and restaurants who have product and stock that they've been sitting on. It's only been about 2 to 2.5 weeks for most cities for lockdown right now. So a lot of restaurants are running through the last of their stock so that they can move product, and they are giving it off as donations to homeless shelters, hospitality workers that are out of work, which is a big one too, because right now we don't have the mechanisms right now for a lot of people to be getting the money that they need, and through EI and that sort of thing, to pay their rent, pay for food, so on and so forth. So you've got a lot of restaurants and bars stepping up, hitting that line where we're the status that we're at right now across the country, with lock-ins and curfews are coming, restaurants and bars being shut except for to go and takeout, so on and so forth. On the other end of the scale, you've got producers coming down to the market. I've heard wonderful, wonderful stories about distillers emptying barrels of whiskey that are a month old to make hand sanitizer. And before, when the whole hand sanitizer sort of thing started, it was heads and tails, the leftover bits from the distillation process, given away because that's what usually gets poured down the drain. Now you've got distillers who are 100% distilling their own primary ingredients to make hand sanitizer. The cost of this is huge, and they're giving away the hand sanitizer for free for health workers, hospitals, caregivers, stuff like that. So they're fitting this bill as a massive, massive donation drive. So all the BC distillers and all the distillers across the country, they're doing this. Big or small, I saw Heron Walker started doing it this week as well. It's phenomenal, and I am beyond blessed and to see how many distillers are doing sanitizer and that sort of thing. So the producers that are working on that, congratulations. Your CSR is definitely intact. And so this is where brand and why comes around. It's like, why does your brand exist, and does it exist when the shit hits the fan like it has in the last couple of months? And are you really going to exist after all this has happened if you do everything selfishly and just try to survive? Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be plenty of restaurants out there that can't give anything away just for pure cost and stuff like that. But we're all in the same boat here, guys. And everybody going behind the brand and their own brand and building it out, gaining a reputation out there. So let's pass all the gratitude, because that was just like, everybody's been doing an amazing job. Put a pin in it. So next up, how do you build your brand? So a lot of restaurants and bars that I've noticed haven't been doing to-go food because they don't feel like their brand fits it, or they just don't have the resources to be able to pull it off. Unfortunately, this is not going away anytime soon. This is 6, 10 weeks, 12 weeks that this is going to continue to happen, where we only can do delivery and takeout. So if you're a restaurant that's not doing to-go yet, please have a serious creative thought and innovate and try and figure out a way that you can do to-go and takeout, because either you don't do it and you're just going to sit on the product you have, or get rid of that, or sell it to the kitchen staff or whatever. But you've got alcohol product. You've got there's so much money tied up in your restaurant. It's better to break even every single day than run at a loss. And so I applaud every restaurant, bar, cafe, everybody who shut their doors and aren't doing to-go or takeout, to reconsider, think about innovating to help yourselves create. So once you start doing to-go, whether it be through DoorDash, Uber Eats, direct, which a lot of people are doing direct as well, make sure that you're doing your wine at cost. Try not to buy any more stock in. Just try and turn all your inventory into cash, because cash flow is king right now. These are two things that most restaurants don't do. A lot of restaurants don't do online to-go takeout. So this is not that scary. You can pull it off relatively easy. You can do it direct, so you don't pay delivery fees. You can just do pickup. That's one. You have to innovate on how to have an online presence when it comes to ordering food. 2, social media marketing. I talk about this a ton, and so many restaurants still give me a bit of guff about it because they don't see it as a viable resource. They can't measure the ROI. So, social media marketing through Facebook and Instagram, super, super easy. Go to your ad manager, create an ad saying you're doing to-go food right now, put a nice logo up, put a learn more, or eat now, or book now, or order now, something like that. You'll have it's very intuitive. Then, all you got to do is look at the radius that your to-go orders are delivered, whether it's be DoorDash or Uber Eats. Build out your circumference around that, and then target the hell out of your clientele. Figure out what customers you want, the customers you usually have in, target them, and for $5 a day, for 5 days, $5 a day for however long you want to do it, you can really touch a lot of tables and a lot of people who may not even know that you're open for to-go or takeout. So please, for $5, you can hit like 1,800, 2,500 people in your area. Vancouver would be more. Victoria, it's around about that when you look at the circumference of the area. So go do that. It's cheap as chips. You can really, really, really get some solid feedback on this. So really lean into your brand, the why and the how. Lean into it for social media marketing, and just try and make enough money to break even every day so that you're not running a loss. Break even's better than a loss. And that's always the way you should be looking at it right now. Inventory should be turned into cash. Keep your costs down by staffing yourself and working your ass off, because this is the way it's going to have to be for a while. There's just a lot of ways you can get around it. So guys, please, I've listened to the stats from Craft Distillers Guild and BCRFA and the wineries, breweries. I've heard all the stats. They're not good. So you really need to innovate, be creative, lean into your brand. Like, if you notice, every video I'm always wearing a branded t-shirt for BC Spirits, because that's my little passion project brand for BC Distilleries, and I'm plugging BC Distilleries as much as I can right now to try and keep their online orders to a thing. I also always wear a hat, whether it be BC Spirits or Coalition Craft, my new distribution company. So don't be so Canadian that you can't lean into your brand. Live and breathe your brand. Like, wear it with pride. Lean into it. Keep your CSR on point. I'm going to say it again, corporate social responsibility, because I look like I'm a dick, and I'm not going to stop the video just because I fucked up earlier. Corporate social responsibility. Look at how you help. I want to give some shout outs for CSR right now. House of Botang, big time. Jonesy's Barbecue, big time. What's the hamburger joint just across the street at Burger? Got to lean in, figure out that one too. Look for restaurants that are really pushing behind initiatives, whether to support low-income hospitality workers, low-income workers, as well as restaurants that are giving back to the community in a way of pushing for initiatives to pay for hospitality workers as well. There's so many GoFundMe pages, everything. If you listen to John's podcast on the Anchor or Spotify, or whatever, there's tons of links there all across the country. So please go check them out. That's me for this week. Really hope that I'm helping you out, guys. If you've got any questions, please DM me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, leave me comments, Twitter me, Facebook me, Instagram me, even if it's my personal page. Ask questions, hit me up. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. I'm hoping that I'm supporting you guys enough. Keep an eye out for more episodes this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening, Pose Shifters. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really enjoy sitting down with friends and peers and just chatting about the industry and getting down to the nuts and bolts of what's really going on out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything on all the platforms. Just hit it up and I'll do my best to answer any queries or questions you have. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.